Welcome back to more Guild Wars 2. Over where we were before, where we had that dynamic event with the centaurs, I actually forgot to pick up a waypoint. So we're gonna head over there and pick up the waypoint real quickly. Now, the Seraph are gonna actually lose this waypoint to the centaurs. The centaurs are just gonna take it. But we will be mostly ignoring that. We won't actually see this place beyond this point until we get to the vistas, because there are no skill points in this general location. But it's just around the corner, up a hill. Very, very easy to find. Very easy to miss, actually. As I just proved there. Back to the waypoint over here. We are going to be heading actually a bit south along this way. This is the furthest reach of the map that you will need to go to be accessing the quests and things. And we're actually going to stumble across a little dynamic event. I believe there's a little dynamic event, which you should participate in. It was actually quite fun. Very short, very easy, and actually very rewarding. But first I'm gonna be a bit of an idiot and completely forget about how to fill in this section of the map. If you can guess, it's an underground area. I probably just walked by the entrance. There's definitely something over here other than basilisks. I was remembering a unusual point of interest because it looks underground.
Lousy Etin. I see you in there. Think you can take someone's home from them?
Now, this is the one I was talking about. It involves retaking this thing's home, which the Etin have taken. His home is this cave over here. It's infested with bats and grubs. Grubs won't hurt you, but the cave bats will try. And so will the Etin. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by me being able to take on a veteran creature and them not being able to really hurt me at all. See this veteran Etin? That was just my standard combo, and I already took off that much of his health. Now, admittingly, my level is 21 rather than 17, which is roughly his level, but what can you do? I'm sorry the game did not do that right. But that was actually the biggest resistance these Etin had to offer. There's 6 of them over here. Needless to say, they didn't pose a problem.
You can finally return home. Follow me. With the Etin's gone, I can reveal a reward.
Now, this was not the first time I encountered this quest, but it was the first time I actually completed it. I had no idea where he was coming from. I mean, literally, it's like, I hear this voice. Well, he's coming from over here. No. Is he coming from over here behind the rocks? No. Oh my god, it was a giant. Yes, apparently a giant, this guy Gort, was kicked out of his house by the Etin, which are less than half his size. No, I have no idea why. But we do actually get rewarded for helping him.
I keep my treasure hidden, so Ettins can never get their hands on it.
And he apparently created a landslide to hide his treasure. which is annoyingly enough a copper node and two rather interesting items, a mark and a green item. Not that his dynamic event was particularly hard, mind you. But we're going to be heading outside this cave and continuing south. And I'm going to realize why I did not choose hammers as my weapon of choice. I mean, this weapon is as good as our great sword, but it just, for some odd reason, it just wasn't right. I'll be switching back to the sword after I realize my mistake, don't worry. Just going over the abilities one last time. Simple waypoint over here. This is actually the furthest southeastern waypoint there is on this map, so there's not much more you can do. That's really the only one you can go to. Up here, I'm gonna switch back to my sword. Again, the hammer's just not for me. Not for my playstyle. And here we come across a lovely little village. Wizard's Faith. It's called Wizard's Faith because elementals are everywhere. I actually think it's called Garenhoof, but it's actually called Garenhoof. But elementals everywhere. You saw 2 rock elementals, earth elementals, 2 ice elementals right here. Elementals are everywhere in this particular place. I would not want to live here myself. That would be a bit excessive. You'd have to learn how to deal with elementals, and, well, elementals are not particularly nice. Now, when I ran through this map the first time, I actually had no idea this section here with all these Etin and their lovely little cave even existed. So I had no idea what I was doing. As far as I know, it's not pertinent to any quest. Might be for a dynamic event, but I've never stumbled across this dynamic event, so your guess is as good as mine. There's a waypoint over here, but I'm gonna get a little distracted and completely ignore it. Because we have this little girl who needs to go back to her mother. And so the quickest way to get to her is through this hole in the ground. Not like it was guarded by anything significant. Just a few bats and a bear. Now, this is actually part of a questing area. You can see there's rocks that we can search through, and we should inspect them. Which spawns a little destroyer. And he's so cute. We're also picking up volcanic rocks, which are pertinent to the quest. Now, this particular person is she's very particular. She won't move when there's enemies in her direct path, which makes guarding her a minor pain. Not that these things actually stand up in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not moving from this spot until that creature's gone.
And she's not very specific on which creature she's talking about. Admittingly, this is the only spot where the cave forks like this, so it's not a huge problem.
This doesn't look like the right way. There are even more creatures over there.
She's a very observant girl. Unfortunately, not observant enough to realize that I'm going to be summoning more creatures in her direct path. Because I want these volcanic rocks. Because they're very quick and easy-handed, because all you have to do is attack the destroyers. they almost always drop a volcanic rock. No idea why, but they do. It's about this time I'm noticing that
I'm not moving from this.
I am going to be completing this quest without being able to hand in the volcanic rocks.
How do you do?
And that is annoying, because I want to show you where you can turn them in at, because it's fairly interesting. Now, this area will play havoc with your frame rates. It can with mine, depending on the day and what's exactly going on. Because all these smoke particles have tanked my frame rate before, they'll do it again. Now here, she is going to get a little bit bugged. I think she's talking about these guys over here. Well, let's kill them. Oh, that was easy. She's just standing there, going forward, but okay. And she's going to stop
I'm not
again.
moving from this spot until that creature's gone.
No, I'm gonna hand in my rocks and completely ignore her. Hopefully she'll be there when we get back. He's up here at the top of the cave.
It's my honor to meet you.
Yeah, I've no idea why he's up there. He just is. You hand the rocks into him, he goes, woo! And, okay, the little girl's right there, okay. And now she's running away. Rather than going forward where there's one enemy between her and Over Lake Haven, she's running all the way back. So, you know what? Good luck to you. I'm going to completely ignore your quest exists. Stupid NPCs. So onward to Over Lake Haven. Yeah, we missed it. We missed that waypoint where we're going for. So heading back, there's only a little stream to cross. Now, streams and rivers can be actually a very difficult crossing point. Fortunately, with this one, it's fairly obvious. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but we also missed something else. A point of interest back in the caves. Remember where the path forked? Yeah, there's something there. Yes, it's slightly annoying to have to come back here and accidentally trigger her dynamic event, but I'm not worried at all about killing anything in here. We're just gonna get the point of interest and get back on our way to Over Lake Haven. And it was literally just past here, in this cavern over here, with a giant flaming harpy. No, I don't actually think I could take that on by myself, so we're not bothering. So, moving on, back towards Over Lake Haven. Now, here is where the next quest actually takes place. The next part in Etin's story, but we will not concern ourselves with that right now. Unfortunately, this scout has nothing to say to us.
Can't wait to see it all.
Over Lake Haven is a pretty interesting standard fortress city. You know, the Seraph obviously built it, maybe with the help of the Tengu over here, but they don't quite say.
You have brought honor to your ancestors.
It's also a great place to get your armor repaired, because in some places it's actually quite annoying if you die because there's no armor smiths around anywhere. But now we're going to try and get the southern part of this map all cleared up. Unfortunately, there's not a lot going on the southern part of the map other than this scout, who's going to give us a couple of quests that are more inland than anything else.
Those vile crate are a menace. The lake was a great source of food and jobs until they came along. They terrorize everyone and raid nearby settlements for slaves, even taking Hylek and Quaggins. It's rumored that they sacrifice their captives to feed their barracuda pets. The water feels polluted with evil. We could use some help.
Yep. The critter back. And we love them. We love murdering Crate. But first, dynamic event. As you can guess. The Crate are gonna be after these guys. No clue why. Just are. So I'm gonna join up with these two here. As we slowly advance. I mean, admittingly, the thing's carrying a ton of weight, but... my lord, could it move a little bit faster, please? And this would actually be the location where you would enter from our starting area, actually. Caledon Forest. You'd enter along this road. Admittingly, nothing... when you have this many people here, nothing's going to harm this bull, this pack bull, at all. Not these crates that are sneaking up. Not anything. It's just a long, long walk. And nothing really particularly interesting happens. But you do get to see, you know, a couple of the other classes. The person in front of me, I believe, is an engineer, using the standard pistol-shield combo. And the person behind is a necromancer, sporting his typical staff, which allows him to do quite a lot of crowd control. As well as, you know, summoning about 4 different types of enemies. Allies, not enemies. That would be awkward. If a necromancer could summon enemies, that would be awkward indeed.
Oh, refreshing. I feel energized.
And there we go with the engineer using another one of their main abilities, which is the ability to use kits, which is throwing elixirs, dropping turrets, exchanging their weapons for something else, most notably grenades and bombs, and med kits, which you can drop. Engineers are a very interesting class to play. They are extremely limited in their arsenal. The only one that I found useful is the shield pistol combo. But enough of that. We now have... we're coming up to the second ambush point. But I think we're all getting a little bit bored. Because there's literally been nothing. This is a level 21 quest. 2 of us are level 23. I don't recall... I actually haven't seen, that I recall, what the necromancer's level is. He's not even level 20. They didn't last long. And that'll bring us roughly to a close of the dynamic event. I'll see you guys next time. This is Stomping Llama, signing out.
You made it. Thought we'd be lost without that lion guard.
It's not like it was easy. The crate nearly had us.